Actually, I'm gonna do this. Is the light better or worse? If it's not better, I'm gonna turn it off.
No, it's better.
Well, there's little curtains we can open up if you want to try.
No, I think the light, that's light that's ruining it. It's like a backdrop.
Why is it so bright?
What?
Why is it so bright, shining right now?
I know, the light's on.
Oh, you know what's cool thing I didn't show you last time, but I had it already. It should be somewhere over here.
What? The fuck, it looks like a spider.
Some kind of anime porn with like tentacles everywhere. Yeah, isn't that pretty cool? Like all these phone chargers.
Yeah. Alright, you can go sit down.
Is it recording?
Yeah, it is.
So this is one spot, is that fine?
Yeah.
And this is the other spot, is that fine?
Yeah, you go sit over there.
You want to move the chairs in the way?
Yeah.
So I'm close to the camera, right? And
You should actually be sitting on that side.
I'm closer to the camera and you're a bit distant, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm the focus, that's basically what it is.
That's right.
Because I'm thinking is if you want to introduce what we're recording, but I would imagine the person in front should be introducing, but I don't feel like it. Just lazy. I'm just lazy, right? So I thought you'd do that.
Well, okay, fine, I'll introduce. So Ted was thinking he wants to go to jail.
Oh, and just a fun fact, on the little side note, I think I told you, I emailed you about it, but the difference, I looked it up, difference between jail and prison, because a lot of times people use the words interchangeably, right? But jail is temporary, like for drunk driving, overnight kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's
Prison is long term, like if you're staying for a year.
Yeah.
So Anthony's been to jail, but he hasn't been to prison.
Still, he almost got raped.
Well, but jail is different than prison.
No, because he was there in the cellar for that night.
No, but jail is. But that's the thing. He was in a different place altogether. They were both places where authority figures of the law lock you up, and to that sense they're similar. But other than that, they're basically completely different.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk what we were talking about before. So, like you were saying, what's your whole thing about going to prison? You say you.
One of the things is that I'm too lazy to hold responsibilities of living in the outside world, like real world. Getting a job, talking to people. I hate people. That's one thing.
What? You hate
Interacting
me?
with people. That's okay, but you know you're not the majority of
I'm
people.
not really people.
Yeah, you're not a person. You're not people.
I'm not people.
But you know what I mean though when I say that,
Yeah.
right? Majority of everyone I deal with is so annoying,
Right.
and that's normal. So like normal to society. That's a norm, and they're annoying to me. And I would rather have no interactions than bad interactions. And in jail, that's the option. I can have no interactions, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but the thing I was going to tell you is that in prison, you could get raped.
Oh, you want me to say what I was saying earlier
Yeah.
about that? Well, it's not the worst thing in the world. In theory, it's not the worst thing. Like, it's better than getting my arm chopped off, right?
But this is coming from a guy that's never been raped.
But I can never be a guy that's been raped until I get raped. So I can never speak
So what
from
you're saying
experience
is that,
until
who
I gain
knows,
experience.
it might be pretty good.
Because who knows, I might be gay. But that's one of the, like I was saying earlier, it's one of my pet peeves, something I really hate. When people say, I can't complain about something I've never experienced,
Right.
but I can never experience certain things until I experience them, so why don't I just experience it, and I can tell you it's not that bad. So people who actually get raped and get traumatized are pussies. It's nothing, it's just sex. It's actually funny. There was an episode of American Dad where that's one of the jokes where he's talking about his childhood, right? It's like, oh, there's this traumatizing moment, my dad leaving me, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this story, and then, but not the time about when the priest raped me. It wasn't that good. But it's a running joke of the whole episode where it's like it was referring to the rape or getting molested by a priest as a good thing, you know what I mean? But then the same wording normally, except there's a twist at the end of every sentence. It's like, oh yeah, like it's like he raped me, but I wanted it or something. It's like it's not his fault. It was consensual. I think that's one of them. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, you're saying you almost feel like you're in prison at home, like You say you don't care about food.
Oh yeah, what we're saying.
You don't care about food.
We're saying basically what it boils down to, because one of the most annoying things in my life right now is my parents and them nagging me about everything and anything, right? One like the ones that make sense would be, for me to go out and get a job or go to school. That's, I guess, they should be they have the right to complain about that.
Yeah.
But that's just, tip of the iceberg, right? It's nothing compared to everything else.
Right.
So essentially what I'm
sure
saying
when
is,
she asks you to make your bed, like that just must really tick you off, right?
well, she doesn't ask me that, so it's hard to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no clear, great example in theory. Because, like, for example, because I don't talk to them, so, like, my mom would complain about me never washing the dishes, but I don't get asked to wash the dishes.
Oh, I see, okay.
But that's a whole different story, though, because it's so retarded, because, like, what happened was a year ago about, I was starting to do dishes. So I've done dishes in the past, and I have done it as a chore when I was younger, right?
Yeah.
But then, for several years I didn't do it. And then about a year ago, I've been sitting at home pretty much for like a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
So basically after half a year of sitting at home and not doing shit, where I should be, like washing dishes, I should at least do that, right? Like little chores, right?
Yeah.
So after about half a year, I started to slowly wash the dishes during the day. Because they cook breakfast and then they go to work, right? So there are dishes when I wake up.
Right.
So I would do that. I started doing that, and then like a month or less than a month later, my mom took away the dish rack, because she's really annoying with a bunch of stuff. She's like, "Whoa, everybody comes here," because people just sometimes talk about stuff to make conversation, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, "Oh, you have so much counter space. I mean, you have such a big counter, but no counter space because there's so much crap all over it, right?"
That's right.
They didn't say crap, of course, but
Well, it's kitchen.
not even speaking English, of course.
Yeah.
Because we're freaking Chinese people. But so my mom takes it seriously, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta fix it." Like that's her mindset, right? That there's a problem and she needs to fix it.
Yeah.
She removes the dish rack, so there's nowhere to put dishes. So now it's actually a pretty big hassle. We put it in the dishwasher, which is, I don't think is a good compromise.
Right.
But whatever, right? So that's what my parents are doing. But they took away the dish rack, and I don't talk to them. You know that. So it's just lots of different problems intertwining all the time, right? So I don't talk to them. So, first of all, when I do dishes, right? Like I'm not doing it for recognition, right?
Yeah.
I don't tell them I'm doing the dishes. I just do it. Because, like a silent hero.
You shouldn't look for recognition after doing dishes. It's not the.
I should look
It's
for
not
it.
the greatest feat of strength, as we say.
Were you saying I shouldn't or I should?
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I shouldn't. That's why I don't.
Yeah.
But you know how some people, they would. Like some kids, they're like, "Oh, I did the dishes. Aren't I being nice and obedient? Like I'm being a good child, right?"
That's right.
Like that's a reasonable
I hate
thing.
those kind of kids,
I hate it too. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
But like when you do it though, when you do wash the dishes, you kind of want a little bit of recognition. You don't want to seek it, but you kind of want it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if you ever washed dishes. Do you know?
I don't wash dishes. I dry dishes.
Do you feel that for drying? Because I think drying is a bit less.
It is a little less work.
But then you get the feeling a little bit, right? Like you kind of want
I don't want to
recognition.
go up to my mom and say I just did the dishes.
Exactly, but you don't do it because you think that's annoying kid that who would do that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so same concept, right? That's why I didn't.
But I'll admit I kind of hope my mom's gonna walk down and be
Mhm.
like, "Oh wow, he did the dishes,"
Yeah.
maybe make me a cookie or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Something like
Yeah, so that's the same mindset I had, right? But then I choose not to, brag about it because it's not something to brag about.
that.
And then apparently they don't really notice it, which is fine. Like I don't care that much.
Yeah.
But then they took away the dish rack. I don't talk to them. So I won't. Like basically, my condition is if there's a dish rack and it's relatively convenient for me to wash it, I'll wash it, right?
Right.
I'm not, I'm not being that much of a little bitch. But but she makes it harder for me, and it's something I don't want to do to begin with, and that's something I have to do. And fuck it, I'm not doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I was expecting like I think it's negative reinforcement or some kind of conditioning, where I'm sending a message that I'm not gonna wash dishes unless there's a dish rack, but I'm not saying it to her, and she's not smart enough to realize that, and then she hasn't put the dish rack up for a year, and I haven't washed dishes for a year, basically.
Holy shit.
Where's that story going to?
Well,
I think you're talking about washing dishes and whether that's a nagging, and I get annoyed by that, right?
Well, what if you go to prison? I have to imagine you'd be washing a lot of dishes.
Yeah, that's fine. But there are gonna be, dishwasher sprays, whatever. Like, the biggest problem with the dish rack for me is that there's easily the option for it to be easier, but she's putting a handicap on me for no reason. You know what I mean? If it's a hard job to begin with, that's fine. Does that make sense?
If you say so, I guess.
And it's just washing dishes. It's not gonna be that bad. And chances are I'm probably not gonna be doing that because you get different jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not retarded and I'm actually relatively smart, especially in
What,
prison
they
standards.
give you like a book job?
Yeah, bookkeeping, whatever, something. Well, maybe not bookkeeping because that's you know, we don't want a criminal doing that, but
Like, what are you hoping for the most out of this going to prison thing? Like, obviously, the best possible, yeah, like you would have a job maybe in a library or something, you
Mhm.
read books, I don't know, you could work on...
no, the thing is, I'm not going because I think it's good. I'm going because I get rid of the bad stuff I have now, which namely my parents yelling at me. Or,
Yeah, but don't forget, you are going to get raped in here.
well, that's your assumption. We don't know for that fact. And the other thing is, before I make, you know, like I said, it's not a rash. I'm not making a rash decision, right? It's just something I'm planning.
Yeah.
And before I do try to get in, I'm going to try to get a tour of a prison from a police station. I think that's a relatively
So what, you could just
Thing
go to a
that-
police station and ask for a tour of a prison?
well. I think they would give tours to as a school trip and stuff like that. And I think they might give a tour for someone who's in the media and who's going to write about it,
Right.
right?
But what about someone like you that just...
I don't know. But they might not, but they might. Like, so I'm gonna try that first at least. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do research. I'm not just
You're not just
going
going to go walk up to a
Yeah, but-
jail and be like, hey, put me in prison?
exactly. I'm not doing that. Well, I'm doing that.
That would be stupid, right?
Yeah.
No, what else were you saying? You said that even before going to prison, you're going to go to
Mental institute.
a mental institution. Right?
Yeah, it sounds like paradise. The only thing is, sounds like paradise. No, you know, both prison and mental institute. One of the biggest turnoffs is that they have socializing times. Like, you know, they have schedules where you
You're
can
supposed
do.
to socialize. That's right.
Yeah, so there are times allotted for socialization, right?
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want to be social. I don't want to be interacting with criminals and retards, right? You know what I mean? So if there's, as long as there's an option for me to just sit by myself, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's
So if you find out that both in jail, prison, and in the mental institution that you'll have to socialize at one point or another,
you mean if
it's
it's
going to turn you off on the whole idea?
well, no, if it's like brief interactions, like I'm gonna walk past people.
Yeah. Well,
That's fine.
that's bound to happen.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
How
I
do you
don't
like to get around without passing by people?
exactly like I'm fine with that. I'm saying
Yeah.
that's okay. That's expected, right?
Right.
But I don't want to have to talk to them. I don't want to introduce myself to a bunch of retards and try to make conversation, right?
Yeah.
So if that's, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to be mandatory. I think they're going to be recommending it, but I don't think it's going to be mandatory.
What do you think your mom's going to say, or mom and dad are going to
I
say?
should be heartbroken.
And I guess that doesn't affect you at all, right?
I thought about the conversation too. Like I'm probably going to tell them before I leave, like the day of, right? Like, yeah, so like I'm going
Yeah,
to
mom, I'm going out to jail.
like just FYI, that's it. FYI, I'm gonna be in prison. I'm not gonna be able to find you. You can't find me. But whatever. Just so you know, I'm not dead. If you care. But and then she's gonna be like, "What the hell?" Like she's gonna try to dissuade me. She's gonna try to talk to me. But I'm like, I don't care, cause I can't talk to her. I can't give her my reasonings. She won't understand. First of all, she can't understand English. I can't speak. Like I literally cannot speak to her.
Right.
And even if I did, she wouldn't understand because she can't grasp my concepts.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're complicated. I'm saying she's stupid.
It's kind of weird, your situation. So, you know, most kids growing up in like you know, you grew up with, are they Cantonese? Is that the
Yeah,
language they
Cantonese,
speak?
yeah.
You'd expect that you would speak Cantonese, or either that, or they would speak English and teach you English.
Well, I speak Cantonese, but not fluently. I can't, you know, talk about, well, because these are kind of complicated ideas, a little bit, like the reasoning behind.
Yeah, so,
my motivation.
So you grew up, they speak Cantonese, you speak English, so you guys
I speak
literally
Cantonese.
can't.
No, I speak Cantonese to them. But that's the main problem, because I don't talk to them. When I do, I speak Cantonese, right?
Oh, right.
But I don't. Like, I can go by a week without saying a single word to them.
Wow.
So, I would have to grunt to them and respond to them when they talk, but I wouldn't be saying a word, right?
If Ted do the dishes, you're like,
That's exactly it. Even hi, my mom's like, hi, I'm home. Yeah. It's not. One of my another really annoying things when people see me and they say, "Oh, just fucking spoiled," right?
Yeah.
That's on some levels, yes, but not to the same extent that they're thinking. You know what I mean? I know I have it great, but I don't care about the greatness. Like I'm not asking for more. That's the biggest difference. When they say they're spoiled,
Yeah.
it's because they have it great and they want more, right?
That's right.
That's not my situation. I know I have it great. I want less.
Yeah, that's what you want less.
Yeah, I want the less. I'm not. Yeah. So that's really annoying because I am spoiled. I agree with that, but not what it implies though. Like which is wanting more than
Yeah.
you have, but I don't.
Well, if you ever go to prison, let me know how it is. Maybe I'll want to go one day.
Maybe it's so relaxing because it depends because you said you want your freedom as well because that's one of the big things you can't
Oh,
go
that's
out.
yeah. You say you don't care about freedom.
Yeah, I don't use it anyways. Past year, in the past 2 years, probably more than that, but in the past 2 years, I don't think I've really gone out and enjoyed myself. I've gone out and
Actually, yeah, in the
Okay.
past 2 years, how many times have you left this house? Is it like under 10 times?
more than that, I think.
More than that.
Wait, are you talking about for fun?
For fun purposes, like not for going to like the shopping mall to buy food kind of thing.
Okay, for fun then maybe close to 10. I would say under 30 in the past 2 years,
Under 30.
but close to 10, I think.
Also, you're still pretty social. You're not, it's not like you're a hobbit. You won't talk to anyone.
A hobbit doesn't talk to people. Oh, I don't know. I have a very light idea what a hobbit is, but I don't know their behavior.
I've never watched Lord of the Rings, but
I think they talk to people. Well, how else are they in the movie? But anyway,
that's right.
you want to say I'm not
They're
a?
all hobbity and shit though. They creep up on you from behind.
I think you want to say hermit, not a hobbit.
Oh, it's a hermit. That's
That's the word you're looking
yeah.
for.
Shit.
Well, the thing is, I do go out, but I don't like it. I don't care if I don't have the right to do that. You know what I mean? Like for instance, it's like just here today talking.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's pretty good. But if I lose this opportunity, it's not a big deal. I'm not gonna cry over it. Well, like all these times, like what is this? You coming over like what, twice a year?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's not that great enough that if I lose twice a year, it's gonna break my heart.
Okay.
Like, if it was a regular thing, and if you come by every week and I enjoy it, I'm not saying you should.
Yeah.
Then maybe that would affect my decision more, right? But twice a year, whatever.
Yeah, twice a year, yes.
Like I'll go to jail for a year. I'll come on. We'll do it twice. Right.
So what?
And that's the other thing, because people think it's a lot more permanent. Like I'm not gonna be in prison for life. It's gonna be like what, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year sentence, right? And considering I'm going to do a very light crime, it's not gonna be.
What kind of crimes have you been you pondering of doing?
Well, I did I need to do a lot more research before I commit to anything. But from the light research I've done, I want to go to minimum security prison, right? That's one thing I want. I know I don't want to go to high
you don't want to
security.
go to one of those ones where you're
Because
just in
high
a
security-
hole for like the.
And high security ones, I will get raped. That's like fact. In minimum security, I don't know how that's like. I might not. And that's what I'm betting
I
on.
guess you're
Kinda.
counting on that.
That's what I'm betting on. But if I lose the bet, I don't care. That's the thing. There's no risk almost. Obviously, there's a little bit risk. I don't want to get raped. But
What
so yeah.
do you always say? You don't condone rape, or?
you always bring up this. I'm not gonna play along this time. Anyone watching this for the first time would just have to guess what it is. But anyway, no, I don't like it because whenever we say it, it's not fun for the third party.
Yeah.
It's just fun for us. So, and we've done it enough times that I don't need to do it for us anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway, continue. You said that you don't.
yeah,
think
minimum
you'd be
security.
raped.
Doing research to get in, right?
Yeah.
You're asking how I'm planning to get in,
Yeah.
or what plans I have that I might consider. So for minimum security, I would need to commit a white collar crime, which is, I think, honestly, when people say white collar, blue collar, I don't really know what that means anyway. But then
I thought it would have been white or black collar.
a white person or a black person. But anyway, so as far as I can tell, white collar crimes would be like stealing from a company that you're working for.
Right. So that would mean you would have to get a job, which you don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But I would think tax evasion might be in the same line.
Yeah, but you have to make money to.
To owe taxes to not pay. Yeah, I don't have any taxes that I need to not pay. Yeah, but so that's.
Why don't you do what I said? Just go around your neighborhood at night and steal
steal
everyone's shovels.
Become the cereal shovel stealer.
I can just see it right now, in the newspaper. The cereal shovel stealer. We're looking all over for him.
There's a lot, that's a funny idea, but and it's not practical. I think there's a lot of problems with it. Like just off the top of my head, right? First of all, a lot of people in my neighborhood keeps their shovel locked up inside a garage
Right.
because we have big garages,
So
right?
that would mean you have to actually break in.
So
which is
yeah,
a
a break
worse
next
crime.
to it, which is what I don't like. I'm trying to avoid big crimes, right? That's
Yeah.
I don't.
But that, come on, they're not going to send you to a high security prison for breaking into.
Breaking and entering. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like
You better do your research, man.
I need to do my research. Yeah. Like I'm not going to commit any crime within this week, right?
Yeah.
And the other problem would be I need to plan it out in a way that I have to do it, but I have to make it so that people can find me. Because when I do stuff good, right? So if I'm gonna be stealing shovel, if I do it the way I normally would, I'd be doing it in a way where I won't be caught.
That's right.
So I will have to plan mistakes to make
Yeah.
to get caught, and that's, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna leave a trail of shuffles to my house? It's a lot more complicated once you start thinking about doing it practically, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you know how the whole idea was to not really hurt anyone if I don't have to.
Yeah.
I think stealing the shovel would actually surprisingly hurt a lot of people, considering
Well,
the
people
snow.
will get attached
No,
to shovels.
no, not that. Fuck that. if they're gonna cry over a shovel, they deserve to cry.
That's right.
But like the past 3 days, the snow, they can't. If they don't have a shovel, they can't leave the house, can't go to work. You know,
That's right.
that would actually screw them up pretty bad. And I'm going to be doing that to more than one person, right? I'm going to be a serial shovel stealer, not just a single time. So, yeah, it's tough. Well, like I said, one of my biggest plan I have that I think would work would be going to a police station, because I'm going to be at a police station asking a tour, asking information,
Yeah.
and I probably will be revealing my plan to an officer, because the plan itself is not a crime, right?
Yeah.
It's just stupid. Like, from most people's perspective, it's stupid, but it's not a crime. And they'll be like, no, why would I send you to prison? If they refuse,
But then you'll
I get threatened. Yeah,
That's right.
I think threatening is considered a crime. If not, then if the threat itself is not a crime, then they would know that.
But it's interesting though. Like I think in places like Toronto, they actually won't put you in jail for just threatening or saying, "Oh, I'm going to commit a crime." You have to actually commit the crime.
Yeah,
then they
okay.
put you in
So
jail.
what if a crime would be to assault an officer, right? I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll punch him. Like, I'll be like a light punch, right?
Yeah.
But I'll punch him. I'll be like, okay, are you gonna send me in now? No, I'm gonna punch a little harder. You gonna send me in now? What are you gonna do? He has to detain me at some point,
Yeah.
and that's what I want. I want him to detain me. Like, there's no winning for him. There's only winning for me. That's one of the problems, because it's supposed to be a deterrent, the punishment system.
Yeah.
But it does not. If it's something what you want to do, then you have nobody stopping you from doing anything. You can do anything you want.
Right.
The other thing I was gonna say is, well, before that, of course, I consider suicide. Anyone who's depressed enough to want to go to jail, right? It's not
Yeah.
like it's not paradise. It's not vacation, right?
Yeah.
But it might be for me. But but that's not an ideal vacation. Like, people who are considering that will probably be very depressed and probably have considered suicide, which
Right.
both of those definitely fall under my belt, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I should write a guide for people thinking of suicide. If they do, they should buy lotteries with their money. If they don't care
Well,
about
that's
it
the latest.
anyway.
Yeah, you said you're starting to buy lottery tickets.
Yeah, I started to buy lottery tickets.
What would happen if in the next 2 weeks you win $1 million? You still want to go to jail?
Well, no, that's the reason I'm buying it. Because if I have $1 million, like, money will not solve all my problems, but it'll solve a lot of them.
The first thing, what's your first order of business? To move out?
Maybe not actually though. Well, first of all, I've already thought it through quite a bit. Like, I overthink things, right?
Yeah.
But they're pretty realistic most of the time. Especially because I predict people's reactions a lot. Well, not people I don't know, but my parents that I know.
That's
I
right.
don't want to know. And so one of the things they complain about me, not taking responsibility, avoiding the world, not getting a job, not going to school, whatever, right?
Yeah.
If I win money, it defangs a lot of their arguments.
That's right.
But they would complain, oh, you still have to get a job, and what is it? Oh, just winning the money, that's actually a bad luck. Like, how there's, good fortune in disguise or whatever, but the opposite of that. So
Yeah.
bad luck in disguise of good luck. Because now I'm gonna be so spoiled, I'm not gonna want to do anything. I'm not gonna listen to them. Because I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm giving you all this money. You can't yell at me, right?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be like, oh, so the money ruined me, right? But no, I'm already ruined.
Yeah.
I'm already fucking not listening to them, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't know that, but that's the fact already. So the money's not screwing me up any worse. Not as well. Like, if you consider, I'm gonna kill myself anyway, or like that doesn't seem like a bad option, right? Killing myself. So as long as I'm not hurting anyone directly, nothing is worse.
So in terms of killing yourself, what kind of methods were you thinking of using?
I haven't got that far yet, but because it's
You
actually
better do
it's
your
really,
research.
No, because I'm avoiding that because people complain like you would complain like that when you shouldn't kill yourself.
Yeah.
So that's another big thing too. For killing myself and going to jail, which is similar, and it's similar in a stupid sense that most people consider. One of the things that if I don't talk to anyone and I just follow through my own plans on my own, they'll be like, oh, you should have talked to someone, right?
Yeah.
If I talk to people, I'm gonna waste hours of your life, and you're not gonna convince me otherwise anyway. Like right now, like I try to make it funny and interesting, like, and I'm not taking up precious time of yours, like, you're just chilling, wasting time today anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, right? There's no winning for me either way, and that annoys me a lot as well. Like the only way, people will be happy is if I don't do something stupid, like I
Yeah.
don't commit suicide, I don't go to jail.
I personally think that if you were to get laid, that it would fix everything.
You say both sides of that. You've said that at this point, if like
You
I
should
quote,
go-
I quote you. You said that at this point, if you get laid, I don't think it'll help at all.
You
You
should
said
go-
that before.
You should go downtown. You should go right to the Chinese whorehouse.
Well, you said you were gonna pay for it, right?
If I pay for it, will you do it?
I don't know. Are they even attractive?
They're not bad.
Not. I know they're not bad, but they're attractive.
They're not really attractive. At least not the place that I've
The
been
thing
to.
is, even when I'm watching porn, there are some pretty decent looking girls, but they're not the best. They're not the ones I want.
Yeah.
I watch better porn. So
They're looking for a girl with a really nice face.
something I want. I don't know. I'm very picky. I know that I don't really like. I'm not a prize myself. I know like.
Well, you're not you're not the prize winner here.
Yeah, like I know that, but then on the other hand, why am I paying for something I don't care for? You know.
Yeah. I think you should,
Because when you pay for it, you're assuming that I want the sex, right?
I think you should try it out before doing your research about prison.
No, I think doing the research on prison is not pretty harmless. Before I go to prison, I agree with that. I should try it
You
out,
should try it out.
but not before doing research. Because what if I do research on prison and it's actually really good? What if there's no raping? Because like again, with the whole raping stuff, right? You're thinking it's from the media portrayal of prisons,
That's
and those are
Not to
American
mention movies.
movies, yeah, and that's American portrayals.
Yeah.
Because a lot
Maybe
like,
Canadians different. Maybe they.
maybe it isn't, maybe it is, whatever.
Who knows?
That's why the research is good. Like that's why I don't think, because I have like Alex. I talked to him 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He tried really hard to dissuade me, and he says that I should move out instead. That's one of the biggest.
It is.
Alternatives.
I think that would be a great thing.
One of the things that turned me off on that, and I actually consider that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Is because I have to deal with people, like
Well,
landlords,
your agents.
garbage, like getting rid of garbage,
Yeah.
agents. That part is bad, but that's not even the worst. Because I'm thinking about day after I moved out, right?
Right.
And I had to get a job, I had to deal with boss, whatever. Why would I want all that responsibility for the payoff, which normally people will be to have freedom to go out and have fun later on, right?
So you would be perfectly happy at this point, never having to talk to anyone else ever again in your life.
Well, I basically don't. Like I know I'm talking to you right now, but okay. The thing is, let's see. Like most people, I have desire to socialize, right? I want to talk to people at times,
Yeah.
but it's almost because my desire is so strong that I always want to talk to people, and that there's not people aren't always available for me to talk with, right? Like you and
Right.
my other friends. So because there are so many times I have to repress my desires already, that I'm already used to repressing it. That I'm fine with not having much interaction,
Huh.
because I don't have that much anyway at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind losing what little I have. It's not a big deal. And the thing is, like, if I'll come out from prison and then we'll talk then after a year, that's
Well,
fine.
you should have some good stories.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no rape stories.
Well, no, I think you want me to tell rape stories.
I'm
that
almost
would
like,
be interesting.
When's Ted gonna get out?
Yeah, I need some rape stories.
I need some rape stories.
Well, no, okay, so the conversation thus far, I know earlier the whole prison thing sounds really stupid, but, after I've passed, it doesn't sound as bad, like, for my situation.
Well, you said you want the amenities. That's the word you used.
Okay, right, amenities,
And every time I tell someone about this, like, I'll be honest, Ahmed asked about you yesterday.
yeah.
So, hey, where's Ted? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you the truth. His latest email to me was that he wants to go to prison. He wants the amenities of prison. He's like, what do you mean, what amenities?
No,
Getting
okay,
raped?
okay, wait. If I want that, then yeah, that's an amenity. But, okay, one of the biggest things that I was talking about in the email that I said that word, because right now you are taking what I said out of context. You're just taking the word amenity and
Yeah.
talking about it on its own. But what I actually said was that a jail is a short-term place, right? For like overnight, for drunk driving, whatever. Prison is long-term for like a year.
Yeah.
And I'm saying a jail and a prison, like I'm differentiating them because they have different amenities. And when I say amenities, I don't mean luxuries. I mean like the toilet position will be different, the shower position will be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sleeping positions, the beds. I'm not saying they're going to be better or
Well, I heard
worse,
that-
but it's going to be different. That's why I'm saying different amenities.
Don't you always have to sleep in the fetal position when you're in jail or something like that?
In jail, I don't think they have beds, but in prisons, they have beds.
And the beds are
I'm
so
not-
small.
I'm not
you
saying
have no
they're
choice
great
but to
beds.
sleep.
Maybe not. I don't know. I've done more research, but I know there's definitely beds. Like it's different. That's what I mean by different amenities. I'm not saying they're great. I'm not saying it's a free vacation, but it's different. It's better in jail for the most part.
Actually, before doing your research about prison, why don't you actually go on a vacation? Go to Cuba for a week.
Well, I was in Hong Kong last year around this time.
Yeah.
It's a big difference because I went with my parents, and that's one of my biggest problems in life.
Go either alone or go with like a friend or friends.
See, the other thing is that there's an endless supply of things that I should try before I commit to prison.
Yeah.
Like I should try living out.
Who commits to prison?
Or before I commit up to a plan that goes to prison.
That's right.
Yeah. But you would say I should try living out, right?
Yeah.
If I live out, I'm because I'm pretty cheap by nature, you know that.
Right.
I'm gonna buy really crappy food. I'm gonna live on really crappy stuff, right?
Right.
And then I'm not gonna be happy then, obviously. And then you're gonna be like, oh, you should try getting better food,
Yeah.
And I do, but I'm like, oh, but I have to work this job that I hate. They're like, well, you should try getting a better job. You know what I mean? It's endless. There's always stuff to try. But I'm at a point where, in theory, there's nothing to try that. Well, like, obviously it's possible I might like it more, but I don't think it's worth the effort because I'm really lazy
Yeah.
at this point. And there's a good analogy I was thinking of when you say I should try stuff, that because something good might come out of it, right? I don't know. Well, I can say that you can try giving me $100. Because I can make the effort, right? Like, I can hold a job to some extent, but I don't want to. Why would I want to, right? That's my problem.
Yeah.
But I can do it. So it's the same thing. If I ask you to give me $100, it's not a lot of money. It's not going to hurt you.
Right.
You might get good karma out of it, right? Why don't you give me $100? But you wouldn't. Why would you want to,
Yeah.
It's kind of the same reason why I don't want to move out and try all these other things.
Right. Right. Well, anyway, we'll talk more next time with Ted, the man that wants to go to prison. Hopefully he's around by the next time, and we'll talk to you then.
Sure.